Nubian twist, something along those lines. How many artists do I review on this channel where I'm like, how do you say the name? There's just so much obscurity in music, and it's hard to find anyone that ever says these names out loud. So we'll just go with Nubiyan twist. Jazz group, big jazz piece here, 9 people in this big jazz group, along with so many extra features on this album. I would love to see a list of how many people actually worked on this thing altogether, because every track pretty much has a guest feature. And they are from the UK, they are from London, UK, and they are along, well, another addition to the list of many jazz acts from the UK at the moment that are catching quite a bit of attention. When you look at the amount of jazz groups from the UK, you'll be seeing quite a lot at the moment. A lot of ones that are getting quite a bit of attention specifically as well. When you look at like Shabaka Hutchings, with all the work that he's doing amongst the many different jazz groups that he's a part of. You got like The Comet Is Coming, Sons of Kemet, many others as well. And it seems as though the Mercury Prize Awards that happen every year are recognising more and more talent from the UK jazz scene, which is pretty cool to see. I mean, I don't think there's been a winner from that genre at the moment, but each year there's always at least 1 or 2 for the past like 3 or 4 years in the lineup that's made me go, I haven't heard of this act, let's check them out, let's see what they've got. And I feel like Nubiyan Twist could be another addition to that list. And before I go on and on and on and on and on, I just want to say that this album here is really good. It's a lot of fun, it's playful, it's energetic, and while it's not reinventing the wheel, which I've said quite a lot about some of my favourite albums of 2021 so far, it certainly is giving me a nice wheel, whatever the hell that means. I just feel like there's a great amount of heart going into this album. The opening track just has very warm and inviting vocals, and I am just totally on board with what is going on immediately. Very casual, very laid back. There's such a great amount of cool to the vocals on this track, and it just immediately makes you feel like you're part of the group, you're part of what is going on, and you're just happy to be surrounded by what they're giving you. It's such a great track, and the sax towards the end is fantastic. I mean, there's lots of sax all over this thing, but the sax on this track, really fucking spot on. Tittle Tattle has an incredibly quirky chorus. Really love the playfulness on this one. Just, once again, not really taking itself too seriously. It's a lot of fun. It's incredibly catchy, straight to the point. It's one of many features from an artist named Charisse on this one, who I believe is the vocalist, and she just adds a great amount of energy to these tracks. She knows how to, you know, again, just rein it in and be a little bit more on the fun side of things, not exactly giving us something totally deep lyrically or anything like that, but it doesn't need to be. It just sounds great. As well as the many Charisse inclusions on this album, there's lots of inclusions of the Afrobeat influences on this album, all over it really. On the track Wonka, that's probably one of the best examples. Very summery, very vibrant, just reminds me of the many albums from the continent of Africa that I've reviewed on this channel. I mean, I could be doing better at reviewing more of them. I have fallen off of it a little bit as of late, but there's just such a great amount of urgency to this guy's delivery on this one, the Ghanaian singer here, and he just also has a lovely voice. Like, he sounds so nice. He just has such a warm voice to listen to. Instantly smile-inducing when I hear tracks like this, just reminded straight away of just summertime, and again, anything that reminds me of that just gives me really nice feelings, which I think a lot of people who love music would say the exact same thing. Buckle Up has Soweto Kinch on this one. Kinch, I believe, Soweto Kinch, who is an artist I have checked out before. Really interesting artist in the jazz genre, by the way. The very specific tone of sax that comes through, which I believe is an alto sax, is once again just very much indebted to his music, and it has a really off-kilter kind of experimental sound to it, which I really appreciate. Once again, just kind of diverting from what they were giving us on the first few tracks, but just adds a really nice spice to the mix of the album here. Keeper is like 7 minutes long. This track is very luscious and just once again including the vocals from Charisse, but this time around it just is much smoother and not as immediate and funkier and in your face this time around. Not like the biggest change of pace or anything like that, but it's doing enough to shake things up and keep you on your toes and just feel like every track's giving you something slightly different, and it's really exciting. The only track I wouldn't quite say that for, but it's not the biggest critique really, but it's probably the worst track, is 24/7, mostly for the hook. I feel like the hook on this one just doesn't quite work. It's not very catchy, it's very repetitive, and the vocals here aren't as lively or as vibrant as many of the other tracks on the album, so it's a bit of a shame. However, the direction that they take with the instrumental I really like this instrumental sounds fantastic. It reminds me of a lot of neo soul type stuff, so once again just throwing in all these different influences to create such an interesting combination of styles. Reminds me of something you'd hear on a No Name album, or even an artist who does not get enough credit actually in the neo soul genre, Woo Park. Definitely check out the album Smokes from Woo Park, which actually is funny because it features No Name on it right at the end of the album, which is a very early No Name feature because this album's from 2014 I believe. And yeah, the instrumentals on this album remind me of this track here. They're really good stuff, and yeah, as you guys know, I like to throw out recommendations every now and then, and hopefully someone's going to check them out and agree with me that the music that I'm saying is great. So yeah, it closes out with the style and fashion that the album's been delivering up until this point, and it's a great closer and just makes for a really great listen. Like I say, I think you're going to listen to this album, maybe think, oh well, it's not really doing anything new or anything like that, but I don't really mind. I think just how it makes me feel, I just feel excited listening to these tracks. I think the performances from all of the features are really top notch, and it just makes for a really great listen that almost feels like it's just celebrating all of the genres that it's fusing together in a really cool way. So yeah, I really want to look out for this group. I think I'm going to go back and check out some of their other stuff too, because they have a few albums up until this point, but for an introduction to their music, really good stuff. Really love these tracks that they've put together here. If you're going to listen to at least one track, I'd say Tittle, Tattle. Check that one out just as a taster, and maybe you're going to like the whole thing. 8 out of 10 from me. Pretty straightforward as to what the appeal is of this album. Just really replayable, really fresh too. I'm just liking it a lot, and that's all I can really come on camera and tell you guys in my videos. So yeah, I really like this one. Hopefully you check it out based on my recommendation. If you have already heard it, do tell me your thoughts in the comments. Have a good day. Subscribe if you haven't already, that would be great. And goodbye.